Hello students. We have discussed two chemical properties earlier of metals and non-metals, and today I will explain chemical properties of metals and non-metals, two chemical properties. One, reaction with acids, and second one reaction with alkalis. Right? So first I will discuss reaction with acids. First of all, I will demonstrate one activity, how metals react with acids and form metal salts and liberate hydrogen gas. Now, for performing this activity, we need three things. First, test tube. Second one, dilute hydrochloric acid. And third one, iron nails. Right? So, how we perform this activity now? First of all, take iron nails and clean their surface. Iron nails and clean their surface by rubbing, either by sandpaper or by another material, but we have to clean their surface. Then after that, we will put these iron nails into a test tube. Right? We will put these nails here into a test tube. Then after this, we will pour here dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay? Earlier iron nails are here. Then what will happen? Let me show these iron nails with blue color here. These are the iron nails. Okay. Then what will happen after this? Okay, first of all, before the result, what we will do? We will take another test tube, and earlier we are having here the dilute hydrochloric acid and iron nails. Then we will take another test tube and invert that test tube over the first test tube. I have left here some gap, it should not be. Right? Invert that here, second test tube. Right? Then what will happen? After some time, we will remove this one and here we will bring one burning splinter. Splinter means thin piece of wood. Here flame is there, right, indicating the flame. So what will be here? Here popping sound will be produced. Popping sound will be produced because by the reaction of iron with dilute hydrochloric acid here, a gas is liberated. Gas will liberate here, gas will be released, right? And by keeping this tube in inverted position, we have kept that gas, hydrogen gas, will be produced enclosed here. Immediately after removing this one, when we bring burning splinter here, then that hydrogen gas will produce the popping sound. So by this activity, what we came to know, that metals, because iron nails, these are the iron nails and this iron is a metal. Metals react with acids, dilute hydrochloric acid we have taken, and produce hydrogen gas and form the metal oxides. metal salts. Now let me demonstrate this activity now. Write this activity now. I will write this in the form of chemical equation. How hydrogen gas it was released, and how metal salt it was formed. So first of all, I will write here iron. Fe is the symbol, solid state first. Then it will react with hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is in aqueous state. Then when these two will react together, then what will be the product? Product will be the iron chloride, FeCl2. This is also in aqueous form. This is iron chloride plus hydrogen gas. It will be released. We have performed this activity, and I have written in equation form, chemical equation form here. Now after writing, we have to balance the chemical equation also. So here we can see iron, one iron is here towards the reactant side, one iron is here, no need to balance. Here chlorine, we can see single, one is here, two, so we have to balance it. 2. Now chloride. Here, now hydrogen, it became 2, and already hydrogen atoms are 2 here. So in this way we can say that this chemical equation is now in balanced form. Right? Now this is the case of iron metal. One thing important here, that all the metals, they do not show the same reactivity with these acids. Like some metals like copper and lead, they do not react with hydrochloric acid. Instead they react with sulfuric acid. Right? They do not react with dilute hydrochloric acid, they will react with the sulfuric acid, but do not liberate hydrogen gas also. Then metals like gold and platinum, they do not react at all, as they are non-reactive, and I told you earlier that they are present in nature, native state. They are non-reactive in nature, iron and platinum. On the other hand, if we talk about the non-metals, then non-metals do not react with non-metals. They do not react with acids. But exceptions are still here, like sulfur and phosphorus. Sulfur and phosphorus, they react with hot concentrated sulfuric acid. Sulfur and phosphorus, although they are non-metals, but still after reaction they will not liberate the hydrogen gas. So this is brief about the reaction of metals and non-metals with the acids. Now we will study about reaction of metals and non-metals with the alkalis, means the bases here. So similarly, metals like the aluminium and zinc, they react with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, right? Sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, as these are bases, to form salts and liberate the hydrogen gas. They will form the salts and liberate hydrogen gas. So this is brief about reactivity of metals and non-metals with acids and alkalis. So students, with this we have discussed all the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Like main four properties we have discussed. First, reaction of metals and non-metals. First with oxygen, then second one reaction with water, then third one reaction with these acids, and last one reaction with alkalis. So learn these chemical properties, do practice of chemical equations, balanced chemical equations, and also do these activities. Don't do these activities because you cannot perform these at home, but at least understand these activities which I have discussed through videos also here. These are also very important from examination point of view. And for more understanding, first of all you should understand the activity, then after this you should write that activity in the chemical equation form, right? And balancing is also very important. Then after this, next topic is the reactivity of metals. As all metals, they do not show the same reactivity. Some are more reactive, some are less reactive, some are non-reactive. So for this there is reactivity series also of metals. So first of all you should understand what is reactivity of metals. So what is reactivity? In a proper precise this definition of this reactivity, it will be means the tendency of an element, means tendency of an element what? To react with other substances to form the compounds. That is called the reactivity. Means tendency of some elements to react with other and to form compounds is known as reactivity, right? And what will be more reactive, what will be least reactive? Means the metal that is having the more tendency to form the compounds, more tendency to form the compound and react with other element, that is called the more reactive metal, right? That is called the more reactive one. So all metals not show the same reactivity. Some are more reactive than the others. So means they have more tendency to form compounds. Such metals, they occur in the form of compounds in the earth crust. And we have discussed earlier about the extraction of metals from their ores. So how they exist in the nature. Now on the basis of this reactivity of metals, there is one reactivity series that is given in tabulated form in your book, right? Reactivity of series of metals. You should learn that properly so that on the basis of that you can then understand the next topic, that displacement reactions, right? In displacement reactions you will study how more reactive will displace the less reactive. So that reactivity series is given, and along with the symbols and along with the name of the elements. So please learn that reactivity first of all, then go further. Like the some metals I will discuss here, some elements in reactivity form, like potassium is placed at first position, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then potassium will occupy the first position. It means potassium is most reactive in this reactivity series. Then will come sodium, then will come calcium, then will come magnesium, then after that it will come the aluminium, then zinc, then so on, iron, lead, copper, mercury, and last there will be platinum. So what does it means? this is showing the decreasing order. This is showing the decreasing order of reactivity, right? Means the, and here if I place this arrow in this direction, then it will be the, this will be increasing order of reactivity. Here potassium is most active, occupying first position, then sodium will come, then calcium will come, then magnesium, then aluminium and zinc. So learn this activity series, right? Next topic is the displacement reactions. In displacement reactions, after this reactivity series, you will come to know that how displacement reactions in short form I have written here, you will come to know that how most reactive metal will displace least reactive metal. Less reactive, more reactive will displace the less reactive metal. Let me show with the help of chemical equation. For example, here is magnesium plus copper sulfate. So when you will learn the reactivity series, you will come to know that magnesium is occupying the upper position than copper. So it means this magnesium will displace the copper, right? And product form, it will be magnesium sulfate plus copper. So everything is balanced here. I think no need to balance. You can count the number of atoms on both sides. So here it will be formed. This is magnesium sulfate and this is copper here. But if instead of this, here I will write the copper and here I will write the magnesium, then this reaction is not possible. Why? Because copper is occupying the lower position than magnesium, means copper is less reactive than magnesium. So less reactive metal cannot displace the more reactive metal, right? This is the main concept here, how the reactivity of metals and displacement reactions, they are interrelated with each other. On the basis of this reactivity series, reactivity of metals, we can write these displacement reactions. So with this, today's topic is over. Do the reading and do practice of chemical equations. Okay then, thank you.